And here is Form 6b. The good news is that compared to the last video I made, not very long ago for me at all, which was June 2023, Heatherburn Caravan Park, that Form 6b was massive, loads of text boxes to put on, current year, next year, stuff for the user to enter, calculations, and then more calculations to do with position on the pitch where the caravan is, and you've got to work out percentage and add everything up. So that form, honestly, it was a 40-minute video. It takes ages to do. It would be a struggle to finish it in time conditions. This form is based on a query, and it makes it way quicker. The form's tiny in comparison. It's barely bigger than the 6A form. It's way easier to make. So let's have a look at how we do this. As before, here is a reminder about what the 6B, the Part B paper says about not changing structures and so on. We went through that in the 6A video. Here is the scenario we need to particularly focus on. Goals for are goals scored by Martlepool College LFC, because this database is for that college and that team. So that's why they get the privilege of the language being for them. Goals against are scored by whatever their opponent is. Win, loss, or draw are defined by those goals. So if Martlepool College scores equal to the opponents, if goals for and goals against are the same, draw. If Martlepool College scores more, if goals for is more than goals against, it's win. And if goals against are more than goals for, it's a loss. That's what you need to know. Form 6b. Make a fixture and statistics form. So we could call that form fixture or form statistics or something like that. Or form results. There you go. 3 words we could use. So I won't make it yet because I need to make a query. Then that form, in that form, the user will be able to select the team name, and really importantly, that team name will display only the fixtures that do not yet have results. And the easiest way to do that is to start from a query that only shows fixtures without results already. So it is already working correctly. That is what we want. I actually don't know off the top of my head how to accomplish that highlighted thing in the form itself. So start with the query. The answer I have is from a query. Once the user has selected the fixture, i.e. the opponent that's being played, that hasn't been played yet because there aren't any results, then the user will add in the score, so goals for, which is Martlepool, like 10 or whatever, goals against, which is the opponent 4, and it will display the correct word, win, loss, or draw. That's going to be a combined IF. More on that in a bit. It's not too bad. And we need to show the goals. That needs to be input by the user over number of goals, which is going to be added by the user, because only the user knows what the goals are for a fixture that hasn't happened. So if you look at table fixture, we have all of these fixtures, 1 all the way to 18, have happened. So these, that was a draw there. This was a win for Martlepool because they got more goals for than goals against and so on. There are 4 fixtures left, so our form should select from 4 fixtures these teams, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I open table team, that will be North Ryde, Crossroads, Rutherford, and Bear Mountain. Now that is the name of a college that I want to go to. So those are the 4 fixtures that should be displayed. If we set up a form and got it to use a table lookup to find these team names, it would give us all of them. So we need to make a query first that only selects these 4, because in table fixture they do not have this information here. So let's do that right now. Scrolling down the left, this answer, as always, is on Teams. It's available if you bought these videos. It's available with the links, the document with the links that you got from the Times Education website. So we're going to make a quick query, and this really doesn't take long once you know what to do. Query design, we need to figure out the fixture results and the teams, so we'll add those two tables in. They are related. We can see the relationship line between them with a 1 from the primary key to a many for the foreign key. So that is all completed. We do not need to add in extra tables to get a relationship. These two tables are related directly. If they were not, we would need to add in the tables that they were linked to that linked to the other table that we need. So if table team was linked to table dishcloths, and that was the table fixture, we would need to have that table in the middle as well. So we want a a form that shows teams, as in the fixtures and the goals. So we are going, and we want only to show those teams when the goals are null. So we're going to add in team ID, team name. Wait a second, I will get that from table team, just in case that is important. Team ID, team name, goals for, and goals against. We don't care about, I did that twice, I'll just leave that. We don't care about referee ID or anything, or venue. That's not part of the form. Just neaten that up by clicking at the top in between the words so that they auto expand, because we're going to need to take a picture of this for the Activity 6 RTF. We're going to need to take a picture of this design view and this datasheet view for any queries we use. All I'm going to add is null, and is null. That's it. That's all I'm adding. The query is done. This is going to make making the form possible and easy. And now we are showing only, remember when I went through those 4 teams we'd want to show? They're here, North Ryde, Crossroads, Rutherford, and everyone's favourite college in the whole world, Bear Mountain. I would literally take a pay cut to work there. And this is it. I'm going to save this because I need to save it to make a form from it. Query for form. I've already got one, so I'll call it query for statistics form, because the question asks us to, just want to wait past it, make statistics. So there we go. So I'll just call it that. And then I'm going to create a form wizard from query for statistics form. Wait a second, I need to move things across. That was funny. There we go. Don't think I need team ID, so I think I can get rid of that. Next, whatever. I don't really see that this will make any big difference. So whatever it comes up with, and call it FRM statistics. Finish, and we have the chance to choose it. Well, it's not working, but we will have the chance to choose the team and to put the number of goals. And that's quite a lot of goals right there. And then we'll need to work out, as it says here, the result of the fixture: win, loss, or draw. And the overall number of goals. So we need to show the overall number for and against. That's going to add up the numbers from these numbers here. It's going to add all these up for, and then also the number that the user just added. Yep, and the same for against. And that will be that, and this really will not take us very long. I'm recording this after I've finished recording the previous video. There's a little error here. I'm going to come across a problem later, and that problem is going to be that this form is actually going to save information to table fixture, where the statistics go, like goals for, goals against. Note, I'll open it here, I made it again. Note that here the form wizard has made from the query these text boxes, which are in the data. Oops, I just changed it accidentally. In the data tab on the property sheet, they both have a control source. We need to get rid of that for this form to work properly. I'm going to figure out some point later in the video that, let's see if I can find it, that the form is actually saving data. I think I figure out around here. So later on this same video, I'm going to figure that out. And I am going to fix that by making these unbound. Here we go. So I think I find out the issue around 25. Well, it'll be, well, this time is wrong anyway because I've already moved the timeline. So about 3 minutes before the end of the video, whatever the time is now, I'll figure out I've made a mistake and I'll fix it. And the mistake was simply when I made the form through the form wizard from the query, these boxes I'm clicking on here, I will expand them for you. So I will zoom in. So these boxes, these need to be unbound. If they are bound as they are now, they will actually save data. Even though we don't have a save button or anything, they are actually saving data, at least when I did it, when I made this video, to the table, which messes up our form because the form is only opening, I'll show you the query, is only opening fixtures with teams when the goals for and goals against are null. So the form visibly starts to break, to go wrong, to change when we have the writing in the text box, which I'll show you again, is the control source in the data tab in that forms property sheet. We need to delete that. So I think we can do it here. Can we do it there? Yeah, okay. Easiest way to do it is from there. Make them unbound. So those text boxes should be unbound so that when the user types in a number of goals, it does not save. If they are bound, I will bind them again. Goals for in that one. So now the word goals for Martlepool is back in the text box and the word goals against. Now there's a potential, I think it might be triggered by me changing this view, maybe. Let's have a look. That there's a possibility that, there we go, I've added that data in. And now on the final form, once data is added in, you go back, the number of fixtures that are shown will drop from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 to disappear entirely. So for this form to work, we do want, I'll delete that, I don't want this one. We do want all 4 of the teams who do not have game stats yet, because the games have not been played yet. We do want them to show up. And those teams, as we know, I've read them out before: Northroy, Crossroads, Rutherford, and Bear Mountain. So we do want this to happen in our form for the user to have these 4 to choose from. If you leave it at this, with these text boxes with a if you leave them with a control source, that's the wrong one, that's why. If you leave them with a control source there, like this, there we go. So there's writing in the text box in design view. That is wrong, it will save. And you'll be like, wait a second, that's where a team disappeared, and that's not good. So the simple solution, which I will figure out later in this video, is to make those boxes unbound. So in general, for Form B, where you do not need to save data, you want the text boxes which the users write into to be unbound. Thank you very much. You will see me diagnose and fix this problem later in this video, and I'll be doing that about 3-4 minutes before the end of the video, whatever the end is now after I've inserted this middle section. Thank you very much for listening. Now for the rest of the previously recorded video where I finish this form. I hope you find it useful. Go to design view. I need a bit more space below. I need to make the heading better. So add, it's called add fixture results on this answer. Look at the question on the left. Add the results for fixture. So yeah, add the. Always just use the wording from the question. Why think when they tell you? Just copy it. Copy it and don't think too much. Keep it easy for yourself. Yeah. What you should be thinking about is how to do the calculations properly. You don't need to think about the words. They say add the results for fixtures, so just call the form that. There we go. Then we're going to have team names. So select team. So we're going to turn this into a drop-down box, a combo box. I'm going to need to name it. We'll have to name it so that we can refer to the combo box of that name later. So combo box. And we want to get the value from a query. And we're going to get it from the query that we just made. And it's going to be that team name. And that's going to work because it's only giving us those 4 team names that don't have results. This is the magic. We've now got a form that only looks at these 4 teams that we haven't played yet, that Martlepool haven't played yet, because the goals for and against are null. So the fixtures have not been played. And we can do that later. So select a team. And when I go back, there you go. The 4 teams that should be there because they're the ones in table team that don't have any goals for or against. Those are the fixtures that have not happened yet. Goals for Martlepool. Goals for. I put in jails accidentally. Goals for. Goals against. Just made those look a bit neater. Can't do that much magic to make access look good. It's not beautiful. Okey-dokey. Let's just check that they work as, yep. We just need, we can put numbers in there, it's all working. We just need to give them names. So we're going to call the goals for Martlepool. So first of all, we're going to call the combo box, we're going to call that, oh wait a second, we don't need to refer to that again, I apologize, but we will call goals for Martlepool. Goals for, and we will call goals against. There we go. That'll help us later. We'll just put in a label to say that these are required. So asterisk, enter goals scored by Martlepool. Make that red. Format, font, full color red. Control C, Control V, enter goals scored against Martlepool. Easy, done. There we go. So the user knows what to do there. And then we're going to show the result. So we are asked to show the result. The user should be able to select the team name, and then result of the fixture will be generated correctly. So that's the hardest bit of this form, and it really isn't too bad. So we're going to put in a text box. That text box is going to be an if, because an ifs always go in functions that return a value, so there's brackets for the argument. If goals for, and that's a text box on the form, so that's in a square bracket, equals goals against, then you're going to say draw. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure this will work because let's try. I'm not actually sure. First of all, let's change the label to result. Is that enough information? Oh, okay, it does. Okay, an if does work when there's only one outcome, even though we've done it in the past with 2 outcomes. So it does work fine with 1 outcome. So if I put 1 and 2, 3 and 2, it doesn't work. But as soon as I put 3 and 3, draw. I can select team as well. There we go. Ooh. 101. Draw. That's all working fine. What isn't working for some reason is I've lost one of the teams that were there previously. That was working before. It had all 4 teams. I have no idea what happened. That's strange. Data. how odd. I'll come back later and remake it and see if that fixes it. But it's working pretty well at the moment. We've got the draw. Now we need to extend the if so that it can do more than just say draw, because it's going to say win or lose as well. So after the draw, which is in quotation marks, shift 2, we're going to type comma if and another set of brackets. So this if here that I've highlighted is within the brackets for the first if. Yeah. If square brackets, because this is a text box on the form, goals for is over goals against, we're going to say win. Otherwise, it's a loss. Of course, to do that other way around, you could say if goals against are over goals for, or if goals for are less than the other kind of arrow, which is shift and comma. If goals for are less than goals against, loss. Otherwise, win. It works either way around, but the way we have it is if goals for over goals against, you say win, because Martlepool have won by having more goals. Otherwise, loss. So now if I put in 1-0, win. If I put in 1-2, loss. It's working perfectly. Excellent stuff. Let's just make it so I can see everything. Let's shrink this down a bit and move it over here. Result. And then we're going to make a simple D-sum total. This is going to be really straightforward and easy. We're almost finished. Simple D-sum total. D-sum goals for Martlepool. Now that is because the field in table fixture, which we looked at earlier, is called goals for Martlepool. I'll show you. Table fixture, goals for Martlepool. There, I'll show you in the relationships view. Table fixture, goals for Martlepool. So we're getting goals for Martlepool from table fixture, and we'll do the same for goals against as well. So D-sum goals for Martlepool in table fixture, and we're going to add the goals for that the user entered. So I'll show you that it works already. So apparently Martlepool have scored 45 goals this season. So that's total goals for. Then we're going to Control C and Control V, and we're going to make against. So just taking the same stuff, and then that's going to say goals against Martlepool. And so Martlepool are slightly ahead. They've scored 2 more goals than they have conceded, than their opponents have scored. And then we're going to add plus, and then square brackets goals for, which is this text box here, which I have called goals for. You can see that here, goals for. And I'm going to do for this one plus goals against. And now our form, just make that wider so the marker can easily see what we've typed in. If I add in 0, 0, 45, 43 is for a draw. If I add in 100, 0, then goals for goes up to 145. And if I put in 7 goals against, that will add to 50. Done. The whole thing is done. We have a form where you can select one of those teams. I will show you. Select. That's interesting. Table fixture. Where did? I swear those numbers were there before. Oh, I think because I know what's happening. I think that because these are controlled data, get rid of the control source, make them unbound. I think that was actually recording the data in table fixture. Let's save this. There you go. Look, it did just. Can you see? Yeah, actually saved. I had no idea Access would do that. So because I used Form Wizard and the numbers were bound. There we go. Delete those. For all I know, that actually should be more than 4 teams on the list of not played yet. But me making this database is putting things there. I have no idea. I'll check in a bit. So that actually saved because of the way control source worked, even though there's no save macro. So open that again. We're going to go back to 4 teams now. Form statistics. No, sorry. Form. Is that right? Is that what I just called it? That is what I just made, yeah. we've gone back to those 4 colleges because I amended table fixture. So the problem there was these text boxes for goals for and against were bound. That you could see. I'll show you. There was a control source in there. There you go. So it read like that. That is not helpful. That was actually saving data. I didn't know it would do that without a save button. So now we're not going to accidentally save the data and destroy the tables and lose marks. So Bear Mountain College, my favourite, Martlepool School 10, but because they are bears that live on a mountain, I mean, that's pretty powerful. They scored 23. There you go. So that's obviously a loss because they conceded 13 more goals than they scored. That's a pretty big difference. Result loss, and we add it all up. There is the final form design. I will zoom in for you so you can see it nice and detailed. Here is the query that we made, and we did form wizard from the query. Only issue there is the goals for Martlepool and the goals against Martlepool were bound. They had a control source, so just made them unbound, as I showed you a moment ago. And this is the design view of the exemplar answer from the examiners. Do note, one thing I haven't done, I haven't put a little red asterisk there. So I'm going to just Control-C, Control-V, move that up, and make that say choose a team. Choose a team. Although it already says select team on the left, but now it's got a red asterisk. Choose a team, and we are able to calculate everything. That's a win. There we go. And if we make it 5, it's a draw. And as you can see, the total goes for goals for and against are added on the fly as you update. So if I add a huge number there, the goals against are going to be massive. That is a lot of goals against to concede in one season. Thank you for listening. This form was only 21 minutes of me making it in Access. Half the length of the Heatherburn Caravan Park Form B, which was a little bit too big in my opinion. This one is the right size to fit in a 70-minute exam question. I hope this helps you achieve a higher mark in Form 6B in particular in whatever exam you are doing next. Good luck. The next video will finish off this exam. I will go through activities 7 and 8. It will be quite similar to previous times I've done it. I will see you then.
Can you tell me how to get to the station? Go! Straight! And turn right! Go, go, go! Go your way! Believe yourself! Oh, all right, thank you. You are welcome! You are